Hi guys, welcome to Rusty Audio and another video. This is a video that I have been wanting to make for a while, but for some reason it's been put on the back burner and forgotten about it and all this stuff. Until last night when someone messaged me and said, what do you think is missing in the audio world today? Well, that got me thinking back to a topic that I want to make a video about. So here we go. It's not so much about what's missing in the audio world today. It's more to do with what have been missing all along. We all have our favorite speakers. We all have our favorite amps. And favorite equipment and gear, whatever it might be. What I think has been missing all along, and especially, let's say the last 25-30 years, because the technology has improved, and a lot of companies has taken a step forward in many ways, but in many other ways, they have taken a step back. So I want to see, and this has nothing to do with the main topic, but I want to see an increase of quality all over the board. So I think that's what's missing today. When I say quality, it seems to be that equipment that was made before 1988/99 have better quality and more power when it comes to amplifiers, for instance. So I think that today that is what's missing. But the video that I always wanted to make has to do with this. What if, and I'm saying what if because there might be some type of solutions out there that are close but not exactly what I want to see. You know, we have power amplifiers, 2 channels, and I'm strictly talking 2 channels here now. 2-channel power amplifiers, doesn't matter what kind of brand it is. I'm just talking of solutions. I'm talking about how they can integrate things better and make products even better. So we have the power amplifiers, and then we have active crossovers. You can buy active crossover units and use that with the power amplifiers that you have. So you can use, let's say, a turntable, CD player, DOT, whatever, and then you can use a preamplifier, and you use active crossover if you have that. And then, of course, your power amps, and you hook this up to your speakers. A lot of people use like active crossovers and power amplifiers for B wiring and tree wiring and stuff like that, even quad wiring. But what if, and here's what I have been asking for many years, at least 25-30 years. What if let's say, the XXX is the name of the amplifier. I'm not going to mention any names, but let's say we have XX amplifiers. What if they had a built-in crossover, active crossover, for those of us who wants to have a little bit more flexibility, or for those who want to have less clutter and less gear in their racks? Because if you can save one component and you can have it all integrated, why not? Yes, I know there you have surround receivers that have pre-out for all the channels. They have speakers that are, they have front, rear, center, sub, all this stuff built in. But that's more a decoder thing, not so much a crossover. What I'm wanting to see is if you could have a 2-channel, let's say a 2 times 250 watt, and the amplifier that you're using You're using that together with a preamplifier, and the power amp has a full 3-way or 4-way active crossover built into the amp. So on the back of the amp, you have outputs, speaker outputs that are saying sub, woofer, mids, and high. Or that's in a 4-way configuration, or in a 3-way you can have low, mid, and high, or if you have an amp with 2-way you have low and high. So why can't we have that? Why can't amps today be built with a built-in active crossover? And I'm not talking some cheap solution here. We're talking 18 dB, maybe all the way up to 24 dB per octave. We can, because they build those as single units today. They have them in 12, 18, and 24, depending on how much cash you want to pay for it. So why not get an amplifier with everything? You have power amp built into it, you have a crossover section built into it, and on the back and on the front you can have all the adjustments, and on the back you have all the outputs. You have them as speaker outputs, speaker terminals, or you can even have them as pre-outs on or throughout, so you can hook up even more amplifiers if you want. The application and the configuration is endless, and the manufacturers can do this. They can do it easily. It is so easy to do. So why not? It's missing. It has been missing for decades. Yes, I know there is amplifiers out there who has a high cut, low cut, and a very, very simple, not crossover, but frequency elimination and limits that limits certain frequencies from the amplifier to go out to the speakers. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about low cut and high cut. That's not what I'm talking about here. And I'm not talking about the surround decoding system, because that's totally different. Because if you have an amp with a 2-way, 3-way, or 4-way active crossover built into the amp, you can run you don't need crossovers in your speakers, which will make your speakers better, because you are eliminating, maybe in many speakers, the weakest point of them all, which is cheap crossovers. So if you have an amp with built-in active crossover of good quality, I'm not saying that it's going to be built cheap, but good quality, good components, and a good circuitry, and a good layout, then you are on a way to something really cool. That means you can have a 3-way speaker, and you could run the 3-way speaker from the amp with a crossover built in from the amp, so when the signal leaves the amp, it goes to each driver in your speaker. The same with a 2-way, the same with a 4-way. To me, that is something that I have been wanting to see amplifier manufacturers come out with. There maybe I have overlooked, maybe there isn't a pro amp or a studio amp somewhere, but I doubt it. I haven't seen it yet. Not the way I'm thinking about or how I want it to be. There might be simple amplifiers with a simple crossover. For instance, that you have an amplifier that you can set the settings and you can play only high, like we were talking about the low cut and the high cuts, and you have some adjustments on that, but there's very limited adjustments. So that's not what I'm talking about at all. I'm talking about, let me just get out of the picture here for a moment. Just to make it a little bit easier. I bought this one yesterday. This is a Rain active crossover. You see, it's not a big unit itself. So to incorporate a unit like this into a power amp on top of the power section, or on the bottom, or however, is not a big problem. You can easily do that in a power amp configuration today. And the manufacturers of these amplifiers and these have no problem of integrating those two parts. So why can't I have one unit that takes care of both the full line of adjustments, settings, crossover points, gain, everything. And that has everything built into one unit. Maybe you have to build the amplifier a little higher, a little bigger that way. So instead of having a 2 or 3 unit high amplifier, we're talking about a 4 or 5 unit high. That is kind of like a pro audio term, but most guys who are into pro audio understand what I'm saying. This is a 1 unit, and double this is 2, and then triple of that is 3 and 4 and so on. And here we have this active crossover has all balanced in and outs. So why can't we build, why can't the amp manufacturers build an amplifier with a crossover like that, with all the adjustments and crossover points and gain and frequency points and all this stuff already built into an amp? And then on top of that, so let's say you have that, and you had the amplifier have like, that it doesn't then become a 2-channel, because well, it's a 2-channel, it's left and right, but you have like multiple speaker outs because you have low, mid, and high. And then on top of that, why can't they then also outfit the amplifier with a through out or a via out or extra out, or something like that, so you can run multiple amplifiers, double set? The amplifier manufacturer that comes up with a solution like that and makes an amp like that, I will guarantee that they will kick ass in the market. Because I am not alone, probably, most likely, would want to have an amplifier like that. I would love to have an amplifier that had that configuration to run on any of my speakers or any of the speakers that I would want to have. And especially because a lot of older speakers have outdated crossovers. They should be updated. And a lot of speakers that are really good from the back in the day, or even not that long back, that are good, have mediocre crossovers to like okay crossovers, or good. But an active solution like this active crossover here is a way better solution sound wise and sound quality wise. So you would increase the sound quality from your speakers, and you will need less cabling, so less loss or distortion or whatever, interference or whatever is likely to happen. So you have less cabling, less gear in your rack or in your setup. So easier. It's way easier to do it that way, and it makes your system sound better. So thank you. It was a name from either South America or something down there. I'm not going to even try and pronounce it, but thank you for sending me that question. And I think it was Piñato, something like that. Thank you for sending the question, because that made me make this video that I've been wanting to do for a long time, but it has been falling on the back burner and I forgot about it, making all the other videos and doing all the other stuff. So that was a little Christmas bonus for me, and hopefully a Christmas bonus for you making this video. So that is my take on what I think is missing and have been missing in the audio world. But like I said in the beginning, if you ask me what is missing today, what they had before, instead of paying tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars to get good quality, I think that today what is missing is quality components used, and quality execution and circuitry and layout and build-up of equipment. Not so much in the speaker department, but very much in the electronics. There was a period between 2000 and 2015 where there was a lot of crap. And trust me, there was a lot of crap in the beginning of the 90s too, but a lot of the good ones that was making good stuff up to 98, 99 started to fall off after that. Some of them have gone back and done something about it, but that's my take on it. Improved quality in every aspect of the product, and what have been missing all along is the amplifier with built-in active crossovers. Completely active with everything. So if some manufacturers accidentally dump over my video, contact me and let me know if you want to build them. I'll be more than happy to check you out and then see what I think about it, because this is a product that I've been thinking about for decades. So okay, that was it for today. It's almost Christmas, so if I don't make another video before Christmas, I wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and listen to a lot of good music and eat a lot of good food, and I hope you get what you want on Christmas. Bye.